All right, so you're ready for a deep dive into evergreen real estate in San Jose. Sounds like you're thinking about buying there,
Okay.
but you want to know, is and now the right time? Well,
Wow.
Evergreen's got a lot going for it. It's known for being family friendly,
Oh,
those
yeah.
great schools,
Yeah.
beautiful parks like
Mhm.
Evergreen Hills,
Mm,
like Cunningham Park,
yeah. Great parks.
and it's got a mix of housing, right?
Right. Yeah. You got those single-family homes.
Oh, for
You
sure.
got some
I've
townhouses.
even seen some pretty impressive luxury places out there.
Oh, yeah. You can find those too.
But the market, it's been shifting, hasn't it?
Oh, for sure it has. One thing that's really noticeable
Yeah.
after years of, those prices just going up and
I'm
up,
crazy, right?
Evergreen is actually seeing prices dip a bit.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, we're looking at, let's see, about a specific percent decrease
Yeah.
in that median home price
All right.
over the past few months.
So does that mean it's suddenly, more affordable to buy an evergreen?
Well, it's not quite that straightforward. I mean, remember,
Yeah.
Evergreen homes, they've always been on the pricier side.
Right.
Even with this dip, you're still looking at a median price. For a single-family home, around, let's see, specific dollar amount,
Right.
down from specific dollar amount earlier this year.
So even a small percentage change can be a lot of money.
Absolutely. Plus, we got to talk about the elephant in the room.
What's that?
Interest rates. They're hovering around 7%
Oof.
for a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage.
Okay, so what does that mean in reality, for a buyer?
Imagine this, okay? A 3-bedroom home, Silver Creek area, listed at, say, $1.2 million.
Mhm.
With that interest rate, your monthly payment, it could be way higher than what someone paid for a similar house, just a couple of years ago.
So higher rates basically mean higher monthly payments.
Exactly.
Even if the home price itself has dropped a bit.
Right.
So that's got to make buyers hesitate, right?
It definitely has an impact. We're seeing homes in Evergreen
Yeah.
staying on the market a little longer.
So not like those instant sale stories you hear about?
Not quite.
So is it a buyer's market now in Evergreen?
It's tempting to say that, but I think there's more to it.
Okay.
Longer days on the market could mean buyers are being more careful. Or maybe it's just like a temporary thing.
How do we figure out what's really going on?
Well, we can look at other things, like inventory.
Oh, right.
We're seeing a slight increase in the number of homes for sale in Evergreen.
So more homes for sale.
Yeah, it's probably a mix of things, those hesitant buyers
Right.
and some homeowners who were waiting to sell
Hmm.
because, the market was uncertain.
Okay. More inventory. I guess that means more options for buyers. But wouldn't it also make it tougher for sellers to stand out?
It's a bit of both. It cuts both ways. But remember,
Yeah,
Evergreen still has a ton going for it.
for sure.
It's a highly desirable area,
Yeah, it is.
especially, for families,
Yeah.
professionals, looking for that kind of suburban lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
but without being too far from Silicon Valley.
And those bigger homes with the outdoor space,
Yeah, I agree.
those are perfect for people working from home.
Oh, yeah,
Or, if you need space for your family to grow.
absolutely. And Evergreen's not standing still either.
Right.
Developments like Evergreen Village Square,
Oh, yeah.
they're adding new things to the neighborhood.
I was actually reading about that.
Oh, really?
It seems like a lot of young families are interested in that. They
Mhm.
like the walkability,
Yeah.
all those community events.
Mhm.
They've got some cool shops and restaurants there, too.
Yeah, it's a good example of how Evergreen is, adapting
Mm-hmm.
to the way people want to live now.
Yeah,
And that ongoing appeal, that's important. Even with prices adjusting,
right.
the demand for homes in Evergreen, it's still pretty strong.
So even with all the ups and downs, Evergreen is holding its own.
Yeah.
But I think what our listener really wants to know is, what does this all mean for someone who's thinking about buying right now?
Yeah, that's the big question.
Is this a good time to jump in?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, right?
More like multi-million dollars in Evergreen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Look, these price adjustments
Yeah.
could be a good opportunity, especially for buyers who have some wiggle room
Mm-hmm.
in their budget
Mm-hmm.
and can handle those higher interest rates.
And with homes on the market a bit longer,
Yeah.
I imagine buyers might have more power to negotiate.
Oh, for sure.
A good real estate agent could really be helpful in this kind of market.
Absolutely. A skilled agent, someone who knows Evergreen really well, invaluable.
Yeah.
They can spot those motivated sellers, help you get a better price.
That's a good point. But before we get ahead of ourselves,
Yeah.
we need to think long term.
Hmm.
What's the long-term outlook for evergreen real estate?
That's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
In the long run, I think Evergreen's got, like, real staying power.
Yeah, I tend to agree. We talked about all those great things about it.
Right.
Schools, parks, that whole, that suburban feel but close to Silicon Valley thing.
Right.
That's not going away.
Exactly. And sure, we're seeing some price, ups and downs right now.
Yeah.
But that's normal with, how the economy is.
Yeah.
But those fundamental things
Mm.
about Evergreen,
Yeah.
they'll probably keep demand strong over time.
So even if there are bumps along the way, evergreen real estate still looks pretty good long term.
That's how I see it. But of course, nobody has a crystal ball.
True.
There are always things we can't predict.
For sure. So for our listener who's thinking about buying in evergreen, what's the most important thing to keep in mind?
I think it really comes down to, each person's situation.
Okay.
Their priorities. It's not like one size fits all. Some people might be like, yeah, let's jump in now, especially if they can afford it.
Yeah.
And they're thinking long term.
Right. If you're planning to stay in evergreen a while, those short-term changes in the market might not matter as much.
Exactly. But for others, it might be better to wait.
Yeah.
See what happens over the next few months.
Yeah.
There's no right answer.
It's all about, finding what works for you.
Right, what you're comfortable with.
And that's where, knowledge comes in. The more you understand about the market, the better decisions you can make.
For sure.
I think our deep dive has given our listener a lot to think about. We covered those dipping prices, higher interest rates, the growing inventory, and all those things that make evergreen so desirable.
We really dug deep. But here's one more thing to think about.
Okay.
What are your must-haves,
Yeah.
And what are your deal breakers? Like, what do you absolutely need in a home, in a neighborhood?
Right.
What are you willing to, compromise on?
Yeah. Yeah.
And how do those things line up with what's happening in Evergreen right now?
That's a good point. Sometimes you got to get really specific about what you want. It makes the decision easier.
Exactly. And remember, you don't have to do this alone.
Yeah.
A good real estate agent can have a huge help. They can give you advice based on your situation.
So do your research, weigh the pros and cons, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
Exactly. In the end, it's your decision, but with the right knowledge and help, you can make a choice you feel good about.
That's what we're here for, to give you the info you need to handle this sometimes crazy world of real estate. Sounds like a lot to think about.
It is, but, you're doing the right thing by doing your research, talking to experts. And remember, even within Evergreen, different areas, they might be seeing things a little differently.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like what's happening in Silver Creek might not be the same as Evergreen Valley.
So it's not just Evergreen in general.
Right.
It's like the little neighborhoods within Evergreen.
Exactly. And that's another reason why it's so helpful to have a local expert.
Someone who really knows each part of Evergreen.
Yeah, like inside and out.
Like they could tell you if those older homes, near Fowler Creek Park, if they're holding their value.
Right.
Or if those newer townhomes, closer to Evergreen Village Square, if they're seeing more of those price adjustments.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So talk to people. Ask questions.
Right.
Compare those different areas. Really get a feel for, what each part of Evergreen has to offer.
It's all about finding the right fit.
Yeah.
The place that, checks all your boxes, feels like home.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself. It's an exciting time. I think you're going to find something great in Evergreen.
Well, we hope this deep dive has given you what you need to handle the Evergreen real estate market. Remember, knowledge is power.
It is.
And you're on your way to making a good decision, one that's right for you.
Absolutely.
Happy house hunting.